I was very pleased with our overall effort. I thought we got some very good contributions from a number of guys. I thought in particular Travis Robinson was terrific in the first half, making a ton of effort plays. He had 4 offensive rebounds for the game, and I thought that really set the tone. The guys did a nice job. It was good to have be able to get guys like Zach and Malik and Mike Terry, Jeff Pelage, some good minutes here. I think we're going to need all those guys down the stretch here. So I was just pleased and very happy with the overall effort.
Go on that a little more. You had 33 bench points. So, I mean, were you glad that they went out and took advantage of their opportunity to show you what they can do?
Yeah. I think guys have, some of the guys have really have played really much better as of late. I think Zach in particular, Malik, have done a nice job. Mike Terry played great minutes against Albany. And Jeff has been pretty steady, to be honest with you, what he brings to the table. Tonight he had 7 rebounds in 19 minutes. And, that's really what he does, and he's a competitor. I really feel like right now we have one of the stronger benches in the league. And, again, I think it's going to be a strength of ours down the stretch.
Coach, do you consider this win your team's most complete performance of the season?
I don't know. I don't know if I would say that. I think, because of the margin of victory and because other guys had a chance to play and they played well. But I thought the Albany game, we really did a great job in the Albany game. I thought the Stony Brook game at home was a great win. I don't know if it's any better than those games.
Having mentioned a couple of recent games there in that stretch and adding tonight, and with 7 straight wins, it's fair to say this team is really in a good place in terms of how they're practicing, playing, and just generally going about things one day at a time, one game at a time?
I hope so. I don't think we really played well when we let the magnitude of a game get the best of us. I thought that happened in the Vermont game at their place. We're much better when we kind of take it one game at a time. In this game on Friday, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's any more important than tonight's game because we're going to play certainly, 7 more conference games. We're going to play in the conference championships. We just got to keep getting better, and that's really the goal. And I know that's, all coaches say the same thing, but, I hope that I can get them to understand that. I think we'll play much better if we do.
Coach, UMBC, at least for a large stretch of the season, was winning the rebounding battle on the season by a pretty good margin, one of the best in the conference. Do you think that speaks to kind of the team's improvement on the glass to win that decisively?
Yeah, the last 2 games we've done a much better job on the glass. Obviously our defense has been better, so there's just more rebounds for us to get on the defensive end. But we're just trying to make a concerted effort to be a much better offensive rebounding team too. I think for us to continue to be successful in this league, we really should be the best rebounding team in this league. We have great size. We're pretty athletic. There's no reason, and to be honest with you, I don't think I did a good enough job early in the season talking about that, just with the change of staff, so many things to emphasize. I thought that was one of the things that we didn't do a great job of, that we're starting to do a much better job of now, and I think it's going to help us. I think it totally ignites our fast break when we can rebound the ball and push it out, and also gives us a chance to get some extra points on the offensive end and also get to the foul line. So it's a critical part of the game that I think we're going to need to continue to do a good job of. The good teams in our league rebound the ball very well. The better teams in our league, I should say, rebound the ball very well.
Darryl had 2 threes there in the second half, and you pulled him off. Looked like you pulled him aside for a minute to talk to him. What did you say to him when you pulled him off?
I thought Darryl, for stretches of the game, was not defending as well as he's capable of defending, and I was really getting on him about that. And then I thought it wasn't the shots that he took and made, but I thought he just made a concerted effort to work hard defensively, and I wanted to acknowledge that.
What did he say back?
I don't remember. I think he just said thanks, coach. I don't know if he said anything else.
Earlier in the season, you said that you think he could be a Player of the Year candidate. You still feel that?
Yeah, he's a Player of the Year candidate. There's no doubt. I think when Darryl really plays and he's efficient in his game, he's a terrific basketball player. I think there are times when he gets out of his comfort zone and tries to force things at times, and he's just not as good. But when he's efficient, he's terrific, and we're going to need him to continue to work towards being more efficient.
Why do you think he gets out of his comfort zone?
I just think he's a very competitive kid, and that's one of the things I really like about this group. I think we have some guys that really like to compete. Even in practice when we're playing, if I take guys out and I put them on, if I want to rest them. They want to go in the scout team and play. They just always want to be playing. And, you know, he's a competitive kid, so when he gets in competition, you know, he's ready to go and ready to compete. And I think, you know, sometimes he loses his focus a little bit and it hurts him. I thought in the second half of the Hartford game, he was an assassin. He did a great job. He was very efficient in the first half. You know, he let the refs and the way they were playing him get the best of him. I think he's a terrific talent. You know, I've really enjoyed coaching him.
Coach, when you talk about, you know, player of the year candidates, and not to get caught up in awards, but just, you know, DJ Irving's a guy that never puts up, you know, his numbers don't necessarily grab the headlines, but it seems like Nolan's more important to the team, and that 4-game losing stretch would probably speak to that. How crucial is he for getting Daryl going? Because it seems like Daryl's a far more effective player when DJ is really on and on the court.
Yeah, when we have to screen well, Daryl's much better when we're screening well in our sets and when we're out in transition. You know, that's when he really excels. So, you know, DJ's DJ's a player of your candidate too. He's a terrific player. You know, he defends. You know, he's just a great competitor too. He's a much improved jump shooter. I don't think people can really guard him off ball screen action anymore because he can really shoot. He's much improved. You know, I think he's really has improved on some of the weaknesses. If you watch some of the films from last year, I think he makes better decisions for the most part. He almost took that girl's head off today. But outside of that, he's done a marvelous job. And, you know, those two kids are as good as any two players in this league, you know, and what they do.
Matt Petrovsky got his first 2 points of his career, and I saw that the team was going nuts on the sideline. How has he progressed as a player?
You know, it's been a little difficult for him because we have Jeff and Pat that are seniors that are experienced, and then we end up putting Dom at the 5 spot as well. So he's got 3 guys ahead of him. So he, you know, even in practice, it's hard to get him the reps that he needs to continue to progress. But you know, I think the guys really pull for him. You know, he's working hard every day in practice. He's doing things we're asking him to do. You know, Matt's just got to keep improving in terms of his quickness. You know, that's his strength and his quickness. I think his skill level is very good, much better than what you would think. He can really shoot it. He can pass it. He's got a good feel for the game. Just needs to get stronger and work on his quickness.
How does it speak to the team dynamic that the starters were standing on their feet when the reserve players were in?
Yeah, we've talked about that. You know, I think you know, it's one of the things that I think separates them maybe from some other teams is that they really care about each other. It was one of the things that was pretty apparent when I got the job and I had a chance to meet with each one of them individually. They talked about how much they really loved playing with each other and how close they were as a group. I think they really pull for each other, and that's just an example of it. You know, if we can have that type of brotherhood, you know, and we can continue to have that in this program, then, you know, you're going to have success.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, fellas.